So what we're seeing right now is what I like to call, it's kind of like surgery. It's like you're doing hip surgery. Okay guys, today I'm going to be laying out a swimming pool. This home I built 10 years ago. They now want to enjoy their backyard even more by putting in a pool right here in this area. And so the idea what we're doing is I'm meeting the Walker Foundation guys and we're laying out the pool right now. You can see I had Eugenio take down the retaining walls. They were just stacked stone, just glued together, nothing really permanent. That's all been removed. I've got to get my skid steer out here and move it completely out of the way. But in the meantime, we're laying out the new poured foundation walls. That's right, we're going to do a poured foundation. What that does, it's a lot less money. It'll give us a look where if we wanted to stucco the outside of the wall, make it look finished, or if you want to spend more money, we can stick stone on it. We don't have enough of that stone to put on the wall because we're going so much farther out into the yard. The wall's going to be at least, in some areas, 5 to 6, 7 foot tall. And for a fence around the pool, the code around here is 5 foot 8 inches tall. So by us building this wall, we do not need a fence around the swimming pool. Up here closer to the house is putting in an entrance gate that's 6 foot tall because the yard slopes up. And once we get out of that 5 foot 8, then we have to start figuring out a way to reach that minimum height of 5 foot 8 to keep people from getting into the pool, not getting out. I'll show you some of the designs and ideas that we have. My goal and what we're doing here is to enjoy sitting in their backyard elevated up there. So when they're sitting there, they don't feel like they're fenced in. They have these huge, expansive views off their backyard. So that's something I like other people to think about when they're doing pools. So you don't feel like you're in a Motel 6 parking lot swimming pool that's all fenced in. All right, we just found out what we're trying to do is keep that an elevated patio. So they took their, what do you call that thing?
Laser?
Oh yeah, the laser. They mark it and then they have their laser that spins around. When they got out into the yard, clear out there, the wall was 11 foot tall. I do not need 11 foot tall wall. And here's the way to solve that. What I'm standing on is where the pool is going. So there's a lot of dirt that comes out, but there seems like there's never enough. And so that wall is out there a good 25 feet. So all this gets filled. So my idea is, let's lower this entire area, take some of this dirt down. They wanted to have 3 steps coming off that patio. Right now they have 1. So if I lower that all down quite a bit, maybe another 2 foot, I can take all this dirt and move it to have for backfill. Otherwise we're bringing in tons of trucks. I'm afraid we're gonna have to do that anyway, but dirt's expensive and I'm trying to use what we have. In Nebraska, our foundations, we have to be 42 inches below the dirt to protect the foundation from frost. And even though I built this house, I'm trying to remember what we did, if we stair-stepped that foundation or not. So we'll have to dig into that to see if we're really able to lower the grade. And when I lower the grade, it exposes the foundation, which could be a problem, but I gotta figure that out first. A lot of things are making sense to change the direction of the pool. So I'm gonna drop off this plan that I drew up, put it on the front door of the homeowner, and then tell them to give me a call so we can discuss it.
Take cover now. Move to a basement or an interior room on the lowest floor of a sturdy building. Avoid windows. If you are outdoors, in a mobile home, or in a vehicle, move to the closest substantial shelter and protect yourself from flying debris. Repeating, a tornado warning has been issued until 1:15 p.m. for the following counties.
It's crazy weather around here. This morning, my phone went off at 5:45 a.m. alerting for a tornado in my area. So after what I experienced 3 weeks ago, when that thing goes off, I'm grabbing whatever I can and I'm heading to the basement, which we did. We just got overnight 6 inches of rain, and now I'm out here trying to do some jobs, and they're saying I'm in another tornado warning. There's some severe hail. As you can see over my shoulder, it's all black. I'm trying to make it home before it hits again, trying to stay ahead of it. So I can get my car inside and get safe again. So wish me luck. Okay, we've had even more rain and we broke the sprinkler head in the yard, which created some underwater issues that we didn't know about until we drove a semi on it. When you're going over stuff that's completed, you're gonna find some things like that. That's just part of the job. So we have very understanding homeowners. All well knew that we're going to be messing up their sprinkler systems because that is our only access. And you can kind of see some of the ruts that has happened. In addition, we had rain again last night, but we broke the sprinkler box and that started seeping, so there's a lot of water underneath. When you bring this big equipment in, we have to bring in concrete trucks, pump trucks, so all those things are super heavy. Typically these guys set these pans so quick that they can almost pour in one day, but I think we're gonna have to wait for the ground to dry up and get this poured tomorrow.
As soon as I talk, I start hammering.
I just found out the homeowner, we had some conversations about maybe a potential addition on the back of the house, but we're not gonna do that right away. But since we're pouring the foundation, they thought, let's plan for the future. And we went back and forth, and at last I heard is that they decided not to do it, but then they decided to do it. And it didn't take much, but we actually kicked the patio out about 5-6 more feet. So that's a new line that wasn't there before. Which now extends the patio and allows them, if they decide to put an addition on the back, they still have plenty of patio on the back of the house. So these are little things you can think about now. It doesn't cost a whole lot to do at this stage, but it would have been a major event or a non-event if we had the pool in place, because you can't stretch the pool, you can't stretch the walls. So that's why we see that. That is not according to the plan, but it's what the homeowner wanted, so everybody's happy. In the poured foundation world, these are what we call pans, because they're little panelized systems that they're setting in place. But there's two types that I'm aware of. There's the brick exterior finish. So when you pour the concrete, you pull these pans off, it releases a look to make it look like it's brick. And that's what we already have on this home. That's what the landscape architect wanted, is to keep that same look. Now, if you're gonna put stone or stucco on, typically you want to flip the pans over, or flip them over. You'll use a smooth one like this, so you don't have to worry about that texture. So if you're stuccoing it, you don't have to add extra coats to cover the ridging that a brick would look like. So we use what we call the smooth pan. So they'll probably put the smooth on the inside and the brick on the outside, and I'll zoom in and show you here what I'm talking about. So when they pour the concrete, you'll see that brick will release that pan and make it look like it's a brick edge. We'll paint it, and that'll be a nice decorative look that, like I said, matches the house. We just got done pouring the walls, and on the way here, it's very common that the homeowners get real nervous, because when you're pouring concrete, it's kind of final, but it really is not. We can always cut stuff out if we need to. So I just got done with a meeting with the homeowners, and sometimes the interpretation that we see on the plan, because it's one-dimensional looking down, is not the same when you're doing it in real life, three-dimensional. So there's a wall that they were not expecting to be so tall, and I just visited with them and said, let us get all done. Remember, we haven't backfilled, so when you're standing on this job site looking at these walls, we have to backfill a good 3 to 4 feet, maybe more. So these feel like walls, but at the end of the day, they're supposed to be about 8 inches above the pool deck. So that is very confusing. It's hard to mentally get your mind around it. So it's a little bit of trust and confidence in the designers and the builders that are doing this, but it's most important that I totally understand what the homeowner is expecting, and then I can hopefully calmly explain what we're doing and give them peace of mind, full well knowing that if it's something they don't like, we can fix it. It's going to work out. This is going to be beautiful when it's all done.